Golden, pure, creamery butter, rich, flavorful, satisfying. That's what it takes for the finest buttered popcorn, and that's what we use. See for yourself why there's no Showtime treat to equal the crisp, delicious flavor of hot popcorn that's bathed in real melted butter. It's at the concession stand now.
Once a helicopter battle has been engaged, somebody is going to die.
He's the Army's best combat instructor. His objective, train an elite helicopter squad.
If you fail it, you're out. If you pass it, you're in. That's all there is to it.
His challenge, make them better.
You've been pushing me from the beginning. We don't make any exceptions in this outfit, ever.
His mission, take them into combat and bring them home alive.
Take them out, Rattler.
We're on the way.
Shake 'em, bake 'em.
We're open for business.
Firebirds, rated PG-13, starts Friday at a theater near you.
New SnyderMania action figures by Remco are here to get nasty.
We are here to kick butt and eat cheeseburgers. Who's ready to rock and roll?
You've been to the cheeseburger picnic. Now you can take the action home to settle it once and for all. Who is the true cheeseburger champion?
It's Cousin Michelle.
No way. It's Paul McCloskey.
5 inches of fury, 5 points of articulation. These SnyderManiacs each come equipped with their own devastating action.
Welcome to the principal's office. It's Cookie Murphy with a giant ruler.
Bombs away. It's Joe Krupe from the skies above with the Beaverdale bomber.
Collect all of Series 1 today. SnyderMania action figures by Remco are available at your neighborhood Hills department store. Each figure sold separately.
Look out. Uncle Tom from behind with the Salix cattle crusher.
No one here gets out alive.
These cheeseburger champions are so hot, you'll think you're trapped inside the grill.
It goes to the universe, it goes to Mars, it goes to Neptune, it goes to Pluto. You know, I know dudes in all them planets, Jack.
Cause I know everything about you. I know your strengths, and I know your weaknesses, yeah.
She took my credit card, she took my horse, she took my money, she went to Hawaii and spent $5,000 on a soda men and papaya juice, Jack.
Will you stop? And the t-shirts are too tight too, Billy.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's still real to me, damn it.
This is Stone Cold E.T., and I want to order a couple cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line.
Welcome once again to Andretti After Dark. This is going to be our second episode. I am the Cambria County Coroner himself, Justin Andretti, the man who's making towns all over the place, all over the Great Lakes, all over Pennsylvania, all over Maryland. I've been all over the place the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty awesome, but now I'm back in California, ready to fire this thing up for the second episode here of Andretti AD. So we've got a double shot for you here on this episode. So for this first part, we're going to be doing the 2023 Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars. And then in the second part of this episode, we're going to be doing SnyderMania 8, baby, the cheeseburger picnic. So we're going to have special guests for that. We're going to have special guests here for this one. So I'm joined here today with the longtime member of the group here, the Mongoose. Mongoose, we love having you here, brother. Appreciate you coming in.
Happy to be here, man. Don't forget, I'm seriously very fast.
You are very fast, of course. So we also have in the booth here today. I asked the patriarch himself.
I did not mean to shake you that bad.
We got the Ponsky patriarch here, Johnny Baker, in the booth, who I needed to come in here and quarterback this thing for us, because me and our special guest, which is T3, who's been referenced many times on the shows, we're the ones who partook in the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars this year. So I wanted Baker to come in here and be gracious enough to quarterback this thing and steer the ship a little bit. So that's about where we're at. I'm back in Burbank. Things are going good. The roofers are coming tomorrow. They put a temporary porta potty in front of the house, and I texted everybody and told them the sauna is open. So if you want to come out here and hang out in the sauna, lose a little bit of weight, drop a couple pounds while you're sitting in there, get your business done. It's all good. So come on over if you want to hit that up. But other than that, been running to Home Depot quite a bit. That's been it's pretty much been my life since I got back here to California. So how are you guys doing, Bake and Mongoose? How are you guys doing so far this past week so far?
It is. I am delighted to be a part of Mad 42. The big show. I finally made it on the big show. So, but yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. It is a glorious week. I attended the cheeseburger picnic, filled my gullet full of some great meats and cheeses, and it was a good time. Got to see beautiful Bobby Winters for the first time. He was in rare form, and it was awesome. It was a good time.
Mongoose, how are you?
Everything's real in the field over here, baby boy. We've been down in the trenches trying to prep for the upcoming work year, ready to roll. And then we also had Baby Mongoose was in the pool today, getting some freestyle strokes in, practicing some rotary breathing. I'll tell you what, we're going to start calling, instead of Baby Mongoose, we're going to be calling her Baby Clownfish or something like that here shortly, because that little tiddler knows how to get down in the water, brother.
Hey, T3, this is your first ever appearance on a podcast. How you feel about that?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. It could go either way here, guys.
That was a perfect answer.
It could go really well, or it may be my last. Could be one and done. Who knows?
All right, let's get going, Baker. I'm gonna snap you the football here and let you be the quarterback of this thing and get this one rolling here. So take it from here, man.
We are here. So is this the third annual Pizza Wars?
It is, yes.
So give us the give us the lay of the land here. What exactly is this Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars?
Well, okay. So basically how it started was I like to eat a lot of pizza, and so does T3. And we basically just figured, man, I only come into town a couple times a year, and it just has become a thing that he and I do every year now, where we come up with a big list of places we want to go to in the area that we want to hit. And we try to support local businesses as much as we can and get a little more visibility on some of the places back home that might be kind of a little bit out of the immediate area that people should check out. So that's kind of where it started, and it's grown all 3 years. It's grown, and now we're starting to get more traction and stuff on social media, and people are starting to follow it and be appreciative of it. But look, man, it's been great. It's been really awesome to just go to all these different places around the area. Get a little spotlight on these places if we can. Tell people to go check them out. We've had 3 different winners in 3 years, man. So it's been pretty awesome so far. But T3, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of new ones you don't hear of, and obviously being 20 some places, you're not driving 15 hours in a day to go eat pizza on a normal day. So there's a lot of different new stops that you're not going to go to typically that you may want to, because there's some good ones every year that we don't know, or I don't know exist. And then we have them, and I may have them again later on in the year, or just at least recommend them.
Sure. Yeah. We basically, like, for this past year, especially, I just went through and just tried to find places that were in the area that had good reviews that we hadn't been to. I don't even know how many we've been to now in 3 years. I'd say probably 60, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 or 60 over the, the past 3 years. But this year we hit 20. A lot of them were new. So it was an adventure, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's funny that you guys mentioned the not going to 15 different places in like 1 year. So like, what's your route looking like? It looks like because you did 20. Did you do 20 last year? Like, has it expanded this year, or did you?
How many did we hit? Did we hit 16 last year?
I thought we hit the least last year, because it was like 16 the first year, and we said never again. And then we hit less, and now we hit more. So somehow that happened. But yeah, after the first year, when it was 16, we said that's never happening again.
Well, we did everything in one day. We did everything in one day that year. This year we spread it out over 2 days.
And that might have been worse.
So what was you started? No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Because starting day 2, you're still sick in the stomach from eating 15 different pizza places the day before. So
and so that was going to be Yeah, that was going to be my question is how many was day one? Was day one like over 10?
It had to be close to 15.
It was more. It was a lot more the first day.
I was going to say, because if you're following along on the Pizza Wars, go to the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars on Instagram, and that's where you can find all of the follow along. So they did Andretti did a post for every single place that they went to, and they also had a post of the pizza that they had. But they all you can see the timeline of what all they did in one day versus the second day, and there's a little bit of a little bonus that happened at the end of that too. So
yeah, well we hit 2 the night before, so we hit Claysburg Pizza the night before, and Diatavio's in Hollidaysburg were the 2 that we hit the night before. And then we hit the ground running, on quote unquote day one, the big day. And we probably hit at least 8 or 9, maybe 10, that day. That was, yeah. And we went, and that day we started in, where did we start? We started in Portage, because I took Dominic's down to your place. And then we ended up going from, basically like Altoona all the way up around through northern Cambria and Clymer and all the way down into Latrobe from there, and then worked our way back from there. So it was a lot of miles. And I appreciate you driving T3. It was definitely a lot easier to do the social media stuff, to be, answering people's messages and stuff while you were the one being the pilot this year.
There were some roads we've never been on, I'll say that. And it took us through the scenic tour of central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the question is, what's that when you guys get to whatever it is, let's say 10 and then 10 plus, what's the atmosphere like in the car after 9? Like, are you guys not talking to each other? Are you just breathing heavy? Like, how badly are you ready to just be home and just be prone on a couch? Like, when does that kick in?
It depends. This year, we hit a bunch really quick, so it didn't seem like we were in the car all that long. And as we got further out past northern Cambria, that's when it was like 25 minutes in between each stop. And that's when you start getting full. And that's when it's just like, okay, how many more are we doing?
Well,
those starts to settle.
I think we got a little smarter this year too, because there were places where we knew we could get fresh slices and not get a whole pizza, where we could just pop in there and get a fresh slice or 2 and eat that really quick and get on the road. That really helped.
Because I know the first year we were doing pretty good. We started around 11. We did pretty good. I was feeling half decent until like 4:30, and then we had 5 or 6 or 7 more places to go.
That's what I'm envisioning. Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning is being the terror, is to have an itinerary, be like, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. And not only that, like probably not being pretty far away still from, home, your drop off destination. And just that has to be a nightmarish stretch right there. This fact that you guys did 16 in a day the first year is like incomprehensible.
It was dumb. Like, we shouldn't have done that. So we've just gotten smarter over the course of 2 years.
We could have drove to Florida in the time we drove around this area eating pizza.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like when you guys are going to these places, are you eating like just one slice? Or are you eating like multiple slices?
It depends. I mean, if it's really good, we'll probably hammer down a couple. If it's good, we'll probably hammer down a couple. But we were trying to get, slices as much as we could this year, so that we could kind of have a little more endurance by the end of the night.
So like how many pieces are you eating in a day?
I'd say first year we ate 30 plus.
At least.
Oh my God.
Second year we probably ate more because we had less stops, so we ate like 3 full pizzas in a row.
I mean, there were times last year where we were hammering down whole pizzas and throwing pizza crusts out the truck window.
Oh my God.
That's when it goes quick. Like if you eat a piece and then you get a 15-minute break and then you eat another piece, it's not as bad as it sounds. But when say you eat 4 pieces at one stop and then 3 the other, it can start catching up to you quick.
Oh yeah. I felt way better after the first day this year than what I did in the past 2 years, for sure.
And with Andretti, it's not like you can say, I've had enough, I'm going home.
Right.
If we're at 7 and we have to go to 14, he'll beat you down until you get all 14 of them.
Jesus.
Well, that's serious. I think. Well, I would assume that's probably why you would have assumed the captainship here in piloting, is so that if you needed to take this thing and just land the plane early, that he wouldn't have been able to strong arm you and bully you the way that he did to us so many times in our ute.
Well, like he said,
I bullied you.
When I asked him how far till we got to Texas, and he told me 15 minutes for 9 hours. That's kind of like how this, except for we at least we have some locations that instead of just randomly driving on the highway for another 15 minutes for 9-10 hours.
Dude, that's exactly what he did to us whenever we drove to the end of 219.
Whenever we were socks.
Yeah, whenever we were there and we were like, how much further do we got? And he's like, oh, dude, it's not far. It's only a couple of miles. And then we ended up in Southern Virginia.
Blacksburg. You and I thought we were going to go to Somerset, get something to eat, and be back in an afternoon.
I'm not even kidding, man. I told my family, hey, I'm going to the end of 219. I'll be back by lunchtime or whatever.
Hey, buy an Atlas. Buy an Atlas and do your job.
Yeah. Wow. And we ended up getting back at God only knows what, like later than late to be. We're the only place that was
we got back at 5 o'clock in the morning on that trip.
Are you serious?
It was 5 a.m. We got back at 5 a.m.
And there were 5 of us in a small car.
And we made some. There were one of our friends stunk so bad on that trip that we made him go into a Walmart and take a shower in the sink and buy deodorant.
Yeah, dude, we did. We drug him in there, gave him a whore bath in the sink, made him get some deodorant and freaking. Oh, dude, oh yeah, 5 a.m. That's something. Speaking of terrible car rides and food too, that does recall whenever you spit in those struggling food rides. That harkens me back to. Do you remember the time that that us three and the Gras went to the all-you-can-eat shrimp at Red Lobster, and we were going plate after plate, and we screwed up because we started to get the shrimp linguine, but the cooks and all that started to come out because they didn't believe that we were still doing what we were doing, and we got our table count over 500 shrimp. Got into the car. It was a 7-minute ride home. That was the worst smelling 7 minutes of my life. It was just 4 200+ men sweating butter scampi sauce all over themselves. And then we were supposed to watch a bowl game, and I think all of us just fell asleep on my basement floor.
Oh my God.
We didn't talk to each other for like 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't speak for hours. We just sat next to each other and wheezed.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was something.
Oh my.
This isn't that bad, but as the places start racking up, you can start. And it depends. If you like, it just works out where there's some of the good ones or the better ones are towards the end. You might eat a couple pieces where you shouldn't, and then you gotta watch.
I think we got luckier this year because I think for the majority of the ones we had this year overall, the pizzas that we ate this year were probably better than the last 2 years.
Yeah, they were all consistently good. Some might not be your favorite, but they weren't. Neither one of us said, "Man, this is bad."
Right.
They all look good.
That helps, especially when you're full. Like we got some a few years in the past when we were full, and it's like you take a half a bite and you throw it down.
Even then, that's only happened a couple times. But there's been times where we've been so full that we're like, I take one bite and you're like, no way, dude. It's not worth the space in my stomach to keep going after this. I know they're not going to win, so why am I chowing down on this?
So, Andretti, can you lay out what the divisions look like? How is this whole Pizza Wars? How's this structured? How do you come up with this bracket for the pizza?
So for the divisions, there basically were like two divisions, and I wanted, obviously the local mom and pops are the places that we want to promote. We want to promote the mom and pops as much as we possibly can, right? But with that all being said, like there's local franchises like Best Way Pizza, Fox's Pizza, Original Italian Pizza that they're not national chains. We're never going to include national chains in this thing, but you've got these regional localized chains that are such a part of the local communities too, that I felt like there should probably be some kind of representation for them. So we just added another division, with just the three of them, because they each had a bunch of locations, and we just made the the overall winner was like the mom and pop, but then we had like a division for just small franchises.
Did you get a Bambino at Fox's? Was that the move at Fox's to get a Bambino, or did you get an actual pizza?
We had actual pizza from Fox's.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you what, man, when their pizza's hot and fresh, it's so good. It's so good, man. But
everything on that menu is good.
Inconsistent.
Yeah, is that your favorite piece?
What's that?
Is that your favorite piece of pizza?
No. I Best Way to me is better because it's more consistent. Chain by chain, every time you go in there, their food is really good.
And here's an insider tip on the way he lays out the divisions. When he looks at the map and sees how many places, the more he laughs, the more the divisions start to formulate. So if he knows we're going to be in the car and it's going to be a while and it might either drive me nuts or drive us both nuts, he may pick it just to do that, just to see how it goes.
I think we did a lot better this year just by going by by reviews. Going by reviews.
It was like all over the place.
Yeah.
Let's just stop here and have pizza.
Well, we end up having to do that for the last one, but other than that was about it. That was the only one we took a flyer on this year.
Yeah,
that's wow. The amount of planning that goes into this is insanity.
Well, you try to just find the hours. I mean, there's sometimes people will post their hours that they're going to be open on, Tuesday from 11 to 9 or whatever it is. Then you show up and they're not there. There's nobody there, So that's not
that
good
did
either,
happen. That did happen this year. We'll get to that in a little bit though. But yeah, that's all. So before we dive in here head first, what is your, we loosely mentioned it, but what is your favorite piece of pizza for the group?
T3, you want to go first on that one?
For the year?
No. What's your all-time favorite pizza?
Just all-time favorite piece of pizza.
You some could say you haven't had it yet.
Wow,
that's deep. Bring him back.
This is why he's got to be in the car. He's got to be in the car because he's a prophet.
I would say typically my favorite pizza is Morris's.
All right,
that's a great pick.
Interesting.
We got Mongoose.
Interesting.
I've liked them.
And that's local for you. That was a stone throw for how long. So that makes a lot of sense. Exactly. The interesting thing about that is the answer for me, the first, 30 some odd years of my life, the answer was Mimo's. And the past 7 years of my life, the answer is Anili's Italian Ristorante, located here in parts unknown, somewhere in around South Central PA.
And look, man, if we could get down there, if it was close enough to include them, they would be in it every year, man, and they would do well. That pizza's excellent.
I'll tell you what, dude. There are too many mom and shop pizza places around here. If we could somehow finagle a T3 added onto this indie trip every year, you guys would have a blast because there's a lot of good pizza in and around this area. And I mean, within like 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot here.
That makes it easy. that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
Because like in the beginning of this year, everything just rolled really smooth.
Yeah.
And by the time it was a couple hours in, we were at already 6 or 7 places.
Yeah, which was good, I think. Yeah. I think we just mapped it out a little bit better, and we ended up we had good spots, man. I mean, I felt better about the pizza we ate this year than what I have in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But I would say that pizza that we had with you, Mongoose, in Baltimore, you, me, and Baker, the Detroit style, what underground pizza was what it was called?
Underground Pizza Company, man.
I mean, unbelievable, dude. That was unbelievable.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you guys both enjoyed and the reason why is that obviously it was a diversion from coming on the way home. And I hate to be like the overpromised and underdeliver guy. Do you know what I mean? So that was sort of like stuck in my down deep in my roots the whole time, thinking if they're just kayfabe and like, oh, this is fine, but it's like that they're just eating a Red Baron or whatever, that I'm going to be really upset. And so the fact that you guys both enjoyed, I really do appreciate. Man, if you could have seen Baby Mongoose, I was so excited to bring that home to her, dude, because she scarfed that down when we were there. And I walked in the door and I'm smiling ear to ear and I'm holding that box and I opened that thing up and I said, Baby Mongoose, you see what this is? And she goes, ew. And then that was it. Wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't eat a piece.
Wouldn't touch it.
So, yeah. Yep. So me and the missus went to town on that one.
Man, I would have eaten all of her slices on the way out of your driveway.
Seriously. We would have ate them both on the way out. Like that was really good. That's a top 5 place for me.
It was great. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But back to my favorites. One of the other best pizzas I've ever had was Bartolini's from Goldbelly.
Oh, okay.
It was a deep dish. It was one of the deep dish from Chicago. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I'll check. You said you got that off of Goldbelly, right?
Yeah, and you just put it in. They give you directions on how to reheat it, and that was awesome.
You know, I heard from people that maybe you even told me that Lou Malnati's on Goldbelly wasn't that good. Were you the one that told me that?
Yeah, it was. I'd pick Bartolini's above that every time.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think the best pizza that I ever had, man, and I know like you look back on stuff with rose-colored glasses sometimes, but my favorite pizza ever that I've ever had was Giselle's in Wilmore. And I've never found a pizza that was exactly that, but that I'll never forget that place. We used to go there all the time, going to basketball games up in Crescent and up in Lilly. And I know T3, I know you and I were talking about that Crescent League a lot when we were driving around up there. But that place was that was my favorite pizza I've ever had. And I really like there's a place out here in Burbank called Prime that does like a and you were there, Baker. You were there for WrestleMania. That grandma pizza is probably my favorite pizza out here for sure.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's my number one. Like, that's the best piece of pizza I've ever had, and Underground Pizza is hanging right behind it because that piece of pizza was, oh my Lord, it was totally worth the money. I would have bought a whole pie for $45.
Yeah,
which is conveniently what it was.
What you got, T3?
Mongoose, were you on those teams that played in the Lilly and Crescent League? Like before middle school?
I was, yes. I actually was. I was one of the last groups. It was actually, we may have been on the same team one year.
Do you remember the last year? Do you remember the last year how bad we got our asses kicked by the Crescent team? They beat us like 7-8 in a 5 or 6 minute quarter basketball game. They absolutely slaughtered us.
I might not have been there. Maybe we did miss each other, because I know because that one was by age, not by grade, right?
I don't remember. All I remember is how bad they beat us. It was bad. That was.
I know. Go ahead.
That was almost 30 years ago, and I still remember how bad they beat us.
Yeah, when we were driving around through Crescent and Lily, he was telling me the story and some of the characters that were on that team, and all he kept saying was, it was a fucking bloodbath over and over again.
Yeah!
I remember being good. The Forest Hills team was pretty good that we were playing in.
Yeah.
Then we got up to right before middle school. Like, I think it was like 7th to 8th grade was the cutoff.
Yeah.
And we played the actual fucking Crescent team, and they fucking brutalized us. Like, it was a fucking bloodbath. It was they fucking completely fucking destroyed us. Like 70-something to like 9.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. It was like the one with like this 6-minute quarters. It was a fucking bloodbath. It was like when we played in the 4th and 5th grade league down at fucking Grand Slam and then shut the fucking scoreboard off.
Oh, my God.
Because we'd be getting fucking brutalized.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. That was a fucking all-star studded lineup. Oh, fucking destroyed. We might have beat a girls team and like 1 or 2 other.
Destroyed at Grand Slam.
Were pressing us, fucking. We didn't know what the fuck day it was. That's how it was at that fucking Crescent League. We got absolutely fucking slaughtered.
I think we were okay in the Crescent League.
We were, other than that, other than the real Crescent team. They fucking just absolutely fucking brutalized us, man.
Jesus.
It was a fucking bloodbath. I'm pretty sure they had 70-some and we had like 9.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was a fucking dominator of a fucking ass whip. We went up against the fucking dream team, I guess, and they fucking bitch slapped us. That was pretty much my whole middle school career too. I remember Westmont fucking brutalized us.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck. Penn Cambria fucking slaughtered us. It was so fucking bad, dude.
It's right here on the left.
Where do I
Watch
turn?
this fucking old lady pulling out. Right here.
Yeah!
What's crazy about that is that, and I don't know if I was there. I feel like I had to have been though. And the reason I say that is that in 8th grade, I was not a good shooter and by no means a prolific scorer, but I was bigger than everybody, so I could body people, get a rebound, and then put it back in. And we played Penn Cambria, and they had a kid that was 13 feet tall. He was a super monster. And I have never been abused that bad, in an actual competitive sporting event in my entire life. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think that fellow passed away probably like 10, 15 years ago. It was a really, really tragic accident in the driveway of his house.
Oh God. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah. And so that if they beat us that bad, then I'm assuming that kid was on that team, because I mean, he was everything, man. And we were in middle school, for God's sakes, so I don't know.
It was 6-minute quarters, and if they didn't call off the dogs, they could have put up 100 on us.
Yeah.
And they called off the dogs, and they still beat us by 60. Easy.
During that time, I don't know what the scene is like back there now, but I remember those Penn Cambria teams there for a while were pretty damn good.
Yeah, they showed us what time it was.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, with 5-minute quarters, that's putting one on somebody.
Yeah.
That's putting one on somebody bad.
Yeah.
I want to really quick before we go to the next topic. I need to really quick ask Andretti or old T3 here. Have any of you have you been back to Capri since the reopening in that Richland complex?
I have. I've been back there, and Brandon was the one that recommended to get them in. And this year the hours just didn't match up, or I would have included them. But
Gotcha.
Look, it's good. It's good. Would they have won? No, but they probably would have been in the top half, I would think. Their pizza. Look, man, I remember getting Capri pizza at the Richland Mall, when it was right across from Duke and Duchess Theaters in the Richmond Mall. And I remember, I specifically remember being in there after a movie one time, and it was late at night. It was probably like 9 o'clock after a movie was over, maybe even later than that. And we walked across the aisle there in the mall to Capri because I wanted a slice of pizza. And I remember my dad having a fit, dude, because he said that pizza was super expensive because we used to go to JoJo's, right? Up the street.
Right.
So for a place in Richland that was in the mall, I'm sure their slices and their pizzas were a lot more expensive at that time. But I remember my dad throwing a fit about that, man.
That was when you were reminiscing about the sweet, childhood memories of Wilmore. The pieces of pizza at the Richland Mall, and it was Time Out was what I remember. The theater, but the arcade was Time Out, was going across from Time Out to there. And those pieces, man, were out of this world. And the fact they reopened that, everything's still good. Baby Mongoose loves that place, man. Well done is the key. You get it well done. Yeah, just keep that in your back pocket.
Okay.
All right. Well, before we get into the actual Pizza Wars themselves and the actual places that you all went, you want to give some love to the former champions before we crown a new one?
Yeah, man. Look, this year was super tight. It was super, super tight between Morris's and Dominic's and Joey O's and Latrobe, man. I mean, those three pizzas that we had this year were probably the best three we've ever gotten from those three different locations. And we've been going there for 3 years. So the first year that we have it, we had the war, Morris's Pizza, Morris's Tavern in Sidman won in 2021. Joey O's was actually the runner-up that year. And look, man, Morris's Pizza, if I had to pick one that I'd want to eat every day, it's going to be Morris's, man. And they're awesome all the time. It's like they win awards all the time. That food is so good. Their pizza is so good. It's unique. They got that really thin, almost like a cracker crust. Everything's great about that pizza, man. And then they won the first one. And then last year, a lot of people really like Marlene's up in Nantiglow. So we wanted to make sure we included Marlene's. Total hole in the wall, man. It's cash only. There's no seating. You go in there, you go through a screen door, you hand them cash, they give you the money, they don't even talk to you. They send you on your way. But I'm telling you, man, that was the first time I had Marlene's in probably 15 or 20 years last year. And that pizza was just outrageous. It was outrageous. And I remember being.
And that's the pizza that you call, if you call on the weekend at like dinner time, they may tell you it's ready at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's how busy they get. A lot of people love that pizza.
It's very well known, very well respected in the area for sure. So Marlene's won it last year, and they beat Morris's Tavern in the finals there. But then this year, like I said, man, it just was just unbelievably tight with those three for sure.
That's awesome. So do you want to name every place that you went to in order, or how do you want to?
Yeah, we can do that, man. Let's go through all. Because there were 20 of them that got included, so we might as well give a little love to everybody.
Sure. Go ahead, give us 20 to. You just want to go 20 to 1?
Sure. So I mean, we can go through the route. I think I remember the whole route in my head here. So it was only a week and a half ago or whatever, or even a week ago. But the first place we got, like I said, we got Claysburg Pizza the night before, and it's square cut. Big cult following for that place too. They've got a unique crust. It's good. It's really good. If you're down that way, get it. I don't know if I'd go completely out of my way for it. My biggest complaint with Claysburg Pizza was even with getting just slices, they didn't cut the damn thing. So I had to rip the damn pieces apart in the car because they didn't cut all the way through I don't know how that happened. They didn't cut all the way through the crust. So that was my biggest complaint. But pizza wise, it's fine. It's good. I don't know if it's worth driving an hour and a half out of your way to get it, but if you're in the area, grab it for sure.
I can't believe that you were just sitting in the car tearing a piece of pizza like paper.
I'd have folded it in half. I mean, I'd have folded it in half, and that's yeah.
And then the other place
qualified him later on in the event for what he did to the one pizza. I almost shut it down.
I don't even know what you're talking about with that.
At Clark Powell's.
Wow.
He like tripped or something.
We'll get there. So the next place we had the night before was Hollidaysburg place called Diatavio's. And there might be one or two of those locations around. I'm not sure, but T3, what were your thoughts on Diatavio's in particular?
They're good pizza. I don't know.
That was perfect.
But I remember you said that was probably one of the better ones you had gotten down that way, right? Down in your area.
Yeah. And I still gotta shop around, but it was good. I've gotten it a few times, and it's can't complain.
Yeah. So the actual first one that we had on the first, the big day was Dominic's in Portage. So they opened at 10 o'clock, which is why I went there first, because they were the first ones to open. And I went in there, dude, and that woman was a little frazzled. She had just showed up at work. I got there right at 10, and she was like, I'm going to throw in slices right now. It's going to be like 10 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, okay. Well, we ended up getting slices, big slices that were extremely fresh that we had right there on the spot. And they were, I'm telling you, man, the closest thing I've ever had to Giselle's were those pieces that we had from Dominic's, and it was just lights out, dude. Lights out. Those two, the slices that we had right there in that moment was some of the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life.
They were really good.
I really like to picture that woman all frazzled in there, and there's just two dudes wanting slices of pizza at 10 a.m. in the morning.
And there was some old guy in there. I don't know if he was like the owner or something, but he was like an old man in there, like pushing tables around and cleaning. And he was loud as shit.
He also didn't tell you that he put his face up against the door and started pounding on it like he was some sort of barbarian trying to get pizza at 10 in the morning.
Hey, man.
Oh my! What about the?
That was very good. We had it the last 2 years, and that was the top of the line there.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys got off to a hot start on the day.
Yes, we did.
Which might have been the key in your journey.
Yeah. So then from there, we went to Mama Randazzo's after that, right up in Altoona. No, we went to Dragon's Den. Went to Dragon's Den first.
Yeah.
So we went down in Roaring Spring. Is a place called Dragon's Den. And I wanted to make sure they were included because I know that they sponsor some stuff for Central High School athletics, and their pizza's always been. I've always heard their pizza was good. So we went down there, stopped into that place, and we got fresh pizza there, and it was good. Nothing to complain about with it. I think it was probably right around middle of the pack or somewhere around there when it was all said and done. But nothing wrong with it at all. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So then from there we went up to Mama Randazzo's in Altoona, which was you said we were pretty close to Penn State Altoona, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right. It's right by that campus.
Yeah, so we went up there and that was the first time either of us had been to that place. And it was great, man. They hit it with the oregano, which is something I'm a big fan of. I'm always going to put oregano on pizza, but that really set it off, man. And Mama Randazzo's for a while there was in the top running, in the top 2 or 3, going into probably the latter half of the day for sure.
Was T3, was that a place that you would frequent back in your Altoona days?
Not often, but
gotcha.
They make a really good stromboli and calzone too. Like all the doughs and everything is made in house, and it's fresh, and it's a really good place.
There were a lot of people in there too. They have like
for Dalton menu my last Altoona run here.
They've got like a restaurant there right on spot too, and there must have been like lunch specials or something because there were 1 million people in there eating that at that time.
Nice. We're gonna give us the next place you hit up then.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was 5. Number 6. Number 6 was Dunny's, right?
I think so.
I think so too. I think Dunny's was number 6 up in Crescent, and that's a great spot to hit because they sell it by the slice. It's square cut. You know what you're getting. Their pizza's always consistent. But that's another place, too, that whenever we used to play basketball up in those leagues where we used to stop all the time and get pizza at Dunnies because it's so quick to get in and out of there. But, you know, for a long time, kind of in my head, it was kind of like a knockoff Best Way. But I don't know if they had changed their recipe a little bit over the course of time or not. But it's definitely its own thing now. And they've redone the whole inside of that place. They got much better seating than what they had before. And it ended up being pretty damn good.
Yeah, that you can go in, get something quick and go. You don't have to wait. So that's always nice.
Yeah. And then from there, I'm trying to see where we went after that. It looks like we went up to Six Pack Express up in first of all, we tried to hit Maz's and Glitzen, and they are now on suspension, maybe indefinitely, for violation of posted hours. They had different hours posted than what they were open. So that's going to be the end of that.
Wow, they ain't got no pride.
No pride. So we went through there, and then we went to Six Pack Express up in Northern Cambria. Look, you're not fooling anybody, dude. It's Spangler and it's Barnesboro. Still real to me, damn it. You're not fooling anybody with this combined borough Northern Cambria shit. No one believes your lies up there. So it's Barnesboro, it's Spangler. Don't try to trick me with where you're at. But Six Pack Express ended up being one of the that
was really quick. That's lipstick on a pig.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
That's
yeah,
right.
We get it.
But that ended up being one of the more surprising places that we had been to because we had no idea about that place. They had the cup pepperoni was excellent. That was a damn good pie.
Yeah.
And then from there we went to I'm looking here on the list.
Lou's or Who's? Wendy
Who's, yeah, Lou Who's and Patton. After we drove all over the earth on windy roads that for somehow none of us had ever been on, but I mean that Lou Who's place outside of Patton, dude. I don't know if that's a new restaurant or what it is, but that place was awesome. That's probably newcomer of the year as far as I'm concerned. Excellent pizza.
Yeah, that pizza. And yeah, last year we took a turn. This place is before a left that Andretti doesn't realize was an actual turn, and we almost got T-boned.
Well, you know,
that harkens back to his racing days. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that the guy drives fast.
That's like almost. That reminds me of a time when Mongoose was driving, and I yelled, "Stop! There's a deer! There's a deer!" And he hit it like a bumper car. Didn't even know he hit it. Didn't scratch his vehicle at all. Didn't hurt the deer at all. We just kept on going, got something to eat, and that was how it was.
God.
Andretti, there's your validation of that story, because I literally just told you that a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I hit a deer on the way down to your damn house.
Yeah.
A week and a half ago.
That's 100% real. He didn't even know he hit it until he said, "What's the matter with you? What's going on with you?" And I said, "You just hit a deer," and he started cracking up.
Oh my God!
Didn't put a scratch on his car and didn't hurt the deer either. It was like a perfect bounce. It was like he hit it with a bumper car.
Yep.
Oh my God! Awesome, love it. The next place we hit after that was Size up in Clymer. And look, we're not trying to call anybody out, but that pizza was not cooked completely through, and I'm going to say that. And I don't think there's a chance that I would go back up there. Look, it was nice. It was a nice place, but I don't think I would go back up there after the experience that we had. What do you think about that, T3?
Yeah, I'm not driving 40 minutes for that.
No way. So that's going to be the end of that one. But after that's when we had the little experience with Sansos and Blairsville with the GPS, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to lead you right there. It was the GPS took us right to somebody's house.
Yeah,
and they didn't have a pizza ready for us, so we had to put in the real Sansos.
Sansos and Blairsville is a place we've been hitting now for 3 years. It's very good. I look forward to going in there every time we go by.
Great pepperoni.
Pepperoni's excellent. One of the best pepperonis in the area, no doubt about it. So that place is always on the list, man. Every year I look forward to going to it. From there, I'm trying to think if we went to Joey O's next, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so after that we headed down to Latrobe to a place that we've been going to now for 3 years too. Their pizza's fantastic. They've got a sweet sauce. This year we got a round pie instead of getting the square cut, and I think it was better, man. With that thin crust round pie with the sweet sauce, man. It could have won. It could have won the whole thing this year.
Yeah. There's bites you take that win it, and there's other bites that don't. It's weird.
Yeah.
I've said it for 3 years, but that pizza's excellent.
Yeah, it is excellent. Shout out to Abe for recommending that one a couple years ago for us to go down there and check that out. He was definitely right about that. So then we went to across town to a place called Gino Gianilli's, which I've heard really, really great things about this Italian restaurant called Gino Gianilli's in Latrobe. It's awesome. When you go in there, the place is great. It's this old school Italian restaurant. The people are really nice. The problem I had with it was that we got pepperoni and did not get pepperoni on the pizza, and they left it in the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes longer than they probably should have. So that kind of knocked them completely out of the contention from that experience.
Gotta bring your A game, man. Whenever the work crew's rolling through.
Now, look, would I go in there to eat Italian food? There's no question about it. I won't get their pizza again.
Wow, striking them off the board.
Look, man, we wanted one topping and we didn't get it. So that's it.
No pride.
One strike and you're out. Sorry,
right.
pal.
That's right.
One strike policy.
The next place we went to, we're going to talk about here. The place we went to next was a place called Pit Stop Pizza in New Derry. And I really enjoyed it. T3, what were your thoughts on that one?
I thought it was pretty good.
It's an interesting place because it's kind of like a Sunoco convenience store that also has a small restaurant inside of it.
You guys ate gas station pizza.
We ate gas station pizza for all intents and purposes. We did.
Interesting.
Nice.
It was pretty. If that's the classification, it was good.
Maybe we need to have a gas station pizza division.
We don't need
put in a sidebar of like taquitos or something like that. If that doesn't work out,
the Laurel Highlands taquitos, of course, yeah,
right. And then if none of it's any good, just go and slug a couple of brewskis quick. It'll be the finest thing you've ever tasted.
Oh my God!
If you do gas station division, you got to test their beef jerky.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's got to be the homemade beef jerky they got right there on the counter by the cash register that somebody just brings in.
You only got the Slim Jims, you're out.
Yeah. After that, I think we went to Marlene's after that, right?
I think
we did.
Hit the big dog.
So we hit Marlene's.
Yeah, you wanted to go somewhere else, and I was like, "That's 45 minutes away, man."
It was T&C's or C&T's in New Florence. We were going to hit on the way up there, but then we kind of didn't want to go that far out of the way, so we went straight to Marlene's.
And theirs was really good. I really like Marlene's pizza, so
it's always really good. Yeah, always great. It was excellent as always. Always going to be on. It's always going to be on the tour. You know, they won it last year, man. It was excellent for sure. It's definitely an experience to go get a pizza at Marlene's. And sometimes, like he was saying, you get it right away, or they tell you to come back in 3 hours or even later than that. So that's what it is. So we hit Marlene's, and then from there, what did we do after? Was that it for that day?
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, we called it for the day right there.
Ended it on a high note.
Yeah, we were done for the day after Marlene's. That was an excellent one to finish off the day with, for sure. On a good one.
Yeah.
Well, then
that's probably 9 or 10 hours of driving for pizzas.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That was actually 14.
No, but hour.
Oh yeah, I mean, I picked up that pizza at 10. What time did we get back to your place? 7 or 8?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably 9 hours, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's dedication to the pie.
I was just gonna say it's a full shift plus an hour OT.
Yeah. And then the next morning, I went downtown Johnstown to two places I really wanted to check out. Galina's, right there in downtown, was a place that everybody keeps saying is awesome. I hadn't been there in probably 30 years. So I grabbed a pizza at Galina's, and I got down there right around like 11 or 12, and there were 1 million people in there, man, eating lunch. So like, hats off to them, man, for being able to keep that thing going and attract that lunchtime crowd downtown, because there were a hell of a lot of people in there eating. So I picked up Galina's, and I picked up Primo's. And I ran into Primo's because I knew they sold slices, and it's right across the street from Coney Island. And I actually was going to go to Coney Island and just grab a hot dog on my way down to T3's house, because I knew I had a little bit of a drive. But then Primo's had slices, so I just ran in there and was bullshitting with those guys for a long time about, because that used to be a Dunkin' Donuts when I was a kid, or at least the Donut Connection in that spot when I was a kid. But I remember my dad having to go down there to the place right there next to it to get his checks cashed when he was working doing the job when I was a kid. So we used to have to go down there like once a week to get his check cashed. And then I found out there was a pizza shop in there. So I was like, of course I'm going to run in there and grab a slice, right? So I went in there and grabbed pieces from Primo's and pieces from Galina's. T3, did you have any thoughts on Galina's or Primo's?
They're good.
Yeah, both were good. They were both good.
Grandmama Mongoose works right down there at she works at the hospital, man. And so she's put over Primo's for a long time. That's a common lunch spot for the hospital folk.
I would say that was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they were both pretty good. And I don't know if I'm picking them over Coney Island, but they're not. I would definitely get it. I would get it again.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about that.
But
Primo's for sure.
I would to Coney Island.
I would definitely go eat. I would go eat at Galina's. If somebody wanted to go eat at Galina's, I would definitely go. I don't know if I'd run down there specifically for the pizza, but in terms of pizza itself, Primo's is a must stop. Let's see where we were at after that. So we did that, and then we were down your way. So did we go? We must have hit Clark Powell's on the way up, right? Back up over the hill.
Well, that we stopped a place before that, the ice cream place.
Yeah, where did we go? We went to did we go to Krispy Kreme?
No, we went to the place up by the middle school.
Oh, Buckhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Buckhorn. So we did a little side quest this year. We had a little side quest doing the Laurel Highlands Banana Split War. We went to the Buckhorn, and I love the Buckhorn, man. It's like the underrated place in the area. Everybody likes to go to the Ranger. I'm going to say something really controversial. I think the Buckhorn's better than the Ranger. So I try to get up to the Buckhorn at least once every time I'm in town. They were the first banana split that we had. It was good. It didn't win, but it was good. What were your thoughts on that one?
Well, I didn't even want banana splits, but I thought that had to be the challenge. So that's the one and only one I ate, because I made a turn on you, but it was good. Yeah, I said I'm not doing this for 3 different times because I'd never eat the banana split anyway. I'll get like a flurry or something. But
I will say that the Buckhorn doing the chocolate ice cream in the middle is a little different than other places, and I'll give them credit for that. But I would say they got third place out of the 3. And then we hit.
Let me sidebar fast there. So, third T, since you don't like banana splits.
I don't mind.
I understand. So, but it would be something you'd want to put up to a challenge. It's not something you want to eat multiple of. So you give me your time, give me your dish at an ice cream place that is like an ice cream specialty. So I'm not saying like a scoop of vanilla with sprinkles. You go any place, any diner, any whatever, you're getting an ice cream thing. What's your top pick? Your number one draft pick?
I told Andretti back in the olden days, someone's favorite was the Cookie Fudge Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Of Eaton Park.
Bullet.
And that was always good. I can always go for a Blizzard. Can't go wrong there. I also like the caramel sundae. Can't go wrong there either.
Got it. Yeah, dude, the Cookie Fudge Fantasy lives forever in infamy. Its jersey hangs from the rafters here in the Mongoose Den, man.
That was a delicious ice cream treat.
Yeah.
I can't deny that at all.
Dude, cookie the size of your face. Cookie the size of your face that they broke in half and put the bottom at the bottom of the bowl, put the ice cream, put the fudge, whipped cream, and then jam the other half of the cookie onto the side. How are you going wrong with that?
You can't.
Wow.
You can't.
You can't.
I think we will.
I have to say that Dairy Queen's Oreo Brookie Blizzard, I had that recently, and it was phenomenal.
But I've never walked down. All right. I'll hop on that motorcycle.
I had it 2 days in a row.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How many more places you got?
We went to Clark Powell's, I think, first, right? That's the one we hit.
We got Clark Powell's last.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, because we went the Buckhorn, then we went to JoJo's, then we went to Morris's, then we went to Krispy Kreme, then we went to Clark Powell's, then we went to the Cow Place.
You're right. Okay, so we went to JoJo's next in St. Michael. I mean, look, local Ranger Pride establishment's been there for 1,000 years. We know everybody that owns that place and works there. Everything else. I mean, that's pizza that I've been eating weekly, probably since I was 3 years old, all the way up until whenever I moved away to go to college. So, I mean, look, man, JoJo's is awesome. It's fantastic. It had to be included. It was ended up in the top 5 this year. It made the top 5. So it was awesome. Yeah. Just like it always
was really good.
No shame in that game.
No, it was great, man. That place is great. So then we went from there up to Morris's, because Morris's, you know, they came back from vacation. And this was they opened at 4:00 on that Tuesday after coming back from vacation. And last year we think that little vacation hangover might have hurt them a little bit, but you know, that pizza that we got from Morris's this year was lights out, dude. It was lights out. In between them and the slices we had at Dominic's and the Joey-O's that we had, I mean, it could have gone any way. It could have gone any way, man. All three of them were probably the best representation we've had from those 3 restaurants in 3 years, I would bet.
I think the first year Morris's, when we were that was the 16th place we went, and we both ate 2 or 3 pieces each. That might have topped it, but this was still pretty damn good.
Yeah, definitely better than last year's.
Yeah.
And even with that said, they got runner up last year, but this pizza this year was definitely better than last year's.
Yeah.
And then from there, you said we went to Krispy Kreme in Belsano, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we went up to Krispy Kreme. That was excellent. That banana split that I had there. And look, I didn't eat 3 banana splits, but I ate, you know, a good bit of all 3 of them, you know, just to taste everything. But their ice cream's really good. Their toppings are pretty good. I wouldn't say their toppings are phenomenal, but they're pretty good. But it's good.
Their Blizzard ranked 3rd for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I've had Buckhorns before, and they're better than Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
But you did say the banana split was really good.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the Blizzard, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was. I thought Krispy Kreme was going to win the banana split war, but then we went down to another place at the end there. But that so then we hit Clark Powell's coming back through Evansburg. heading back down over the hill, towards T3 country. I don't know if I tripped or if I slipped or what it was, but I came out of Clark Powell's Land, which dropped the damn pizza, and I took it into the truck and opened the box, and it looked like it was Picasso painting in the box.
It looked like you took a bite out of it and then put it back in, like he took a bite out of the middle of a piece.
Yeah, and then just threw all the pieces back in together.
Which might happen.
But that place is great, man. I mean, they've got that old time bar, that really nice wooden bar in there. That would be a really fun place to go and just have a couple drinks, or maybe go and get a sit down meal in the dining room. I've never eaten there, but just going in there to wait for food and sit at the bar, it's a pretty nice spot.
And I really like their pizza too.
The pizza's excellent. Yeah, it's way better than the one in Wilmore, that's for sure. And then from there, we went down.
How many more you got?
A couple, I think.
7.
No, I don't think.
I was gonna say, like, did you do this on?
We got one. There's one more. There's one more pizza place. We went to the pizza place before we went to Frosty Cow, right?
Yeah, there is one more. I thought that was it for pizza. No, you're right.
So we were down that way, and we were like, well, shit, we have 19. We got to get to 20. We can't end on 19, right? So we went to this place. We took a flyer on a place we didn't know anything about, a place called Palomino's, right there in Altoona. And it was okay. It was okay. And I wouldn't go out of my way to go down there to get it again, but it was okay.
And I don't think 3 banana splits and 4 other pizza places in front of it did it any favors, but
yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. And then the last place we hit was Frosty Cow right there by Mansion Park. Mongoose, you're very familiar with Mansion Park and the Ranger legends that have competed on the hallowed turf, the hallowed AstroTurf.
On the carpet, baby.
Out on the carpet, man. The greatest show on turf when they were down. But there's a lot of people have played on that turf, man, and a lot of memories at that stadium for sure. As a water boy, and as a bench warmer for being on the team for those years. But look, Frosty Cow, I didn't think they were going to win. I took one bite out of that damn thing, and I was like, holy shit, this is the best banana split I've ever had in my life. It was excellent, and they won. So Frosty Cow, congratulations on winning the inaugural 2023 Laurel Highlands Banana Split War. I don't know if we'll ever do that. But you won, and you're going to be etched into the history books for all of eternity.
And I got a peanut butter overload or avalanche or something, and it was excellent.
Yeah, that was great, dude. That place that's going to be a place that I'm probably going to end up stopping at, when I'm down towards his way. To buy his house for sure.
I absolutely love that T3 says the hell with all of this. I'm just getting 3 different ice cream desserts at 3 different places. Yeah, goes from banana split to blizzard to peanut butter avalanche.
I screwed up by following him. I should have just said the hell with it from the start and got what I wanted.
Well, I threw him into it. I didn't even tell them we were doing that. I was just like, let's just go to the Buckhorn and we can do banana splits.
Just because you wanted more punishment.
I'd say the cow, that place, I don't know the name of it, the cow place.
Frosty Cow.
The best. Yeah. That was the best ice cream that I had that day. But I don't know if it was touching that Oreo blizzard. Oreo brookie.
Love it. That sounds really good. And what a better name than the cow place, aka the Frosty Cow.
Yeah.
So what are places that you'd go back to? Like what are 5 places you probably go back to, and then you can parlay that into your top 5?
Well, so you're talking about give you 5 that we would go back to outside of the top 5.
Sure. Or they could be a part of your top 5.
Well, I think the ones that are at the top, like Dominic's, Morris's, Joey O's, Marlene's, JoJo's, those are 5 that we're going to go to every year because they're always good and we love that pizza. We're probably going to go to all of them every single year. But then the other ones are where we rotate and we try to get new people in there, at least a good handful every year. So, I mean, T3, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I would say my 5. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would say my 5 that I definitely want to go back to I definitely want to go back to Pit Stop because that pizza was unique, had a very unique flavor. And I ate all the leftovers that we had from Pit Stop. I ate all those slices that same night because I was like, this is really damn good, man. So I really want to go back there. I would say Primo's for sure. Lou Who's is an absolute definite. I'm going there again in Patton. There's no question about that. And then I would say Mama Randazzo's and probably Six Pack Express. But Clark Powell's also is going to get included in Pizza War every year too. What do you got, T3?
Yeah, I'm probably similar if the other places are going to be included. I would say if it weren't Pizza Wars and it was just say they were all relatively close, I would probably go back to them and try them again. But I'd say the places that you said, those were all really good.
Yeah.
And I would go there again.
Yeah.
If it wasn't me driving 45 minutes or an hour for somewhere, which I'm not going to do no matter if I love the pizza or not, I would go to those places again.
Now there were a couple spots that we didn't get to that we had gone to in the past. Like we didn't get down to Peasers in Boswell, which I mean, T3 and I have said every year. I mean, like Peasers is kind of like the most perfect version of Fox's Pizza you've ever had in your life. Is what Peasers did. It's really similar to Fox's, but just better. We just didn't get there. That's the only way. We just didn't have time to get down there. But that pizza is really good. I mean, I would, and I know. Look, I know I'm a little bit different than other people, but I would drive to Boswell to get that pizza if I had time to do it.
Grandpapa Mongoose was not familiar, man. That blew my doors off. Because, you know, they those guys, especially the guys in and around the shop and all that, I'm very surprised, but he was not familiar.
You got to tell him about it, man. Tell him to stop in there.
I did. Good. Yeah, I did. I'll give you the report once I get one.
It's cash only. Make sure you tell the old man it's cash only.
He only deals in cash.
Well, there you have it.
That's how this house was built, baby.
So since you named your top 5 and where you go back to, what sets your top 5? What makes them the top 5? What are like some things what sets them apart from the rest? I guess is the better question. What makes them the best?
I mean, I would say flavor, freshness, consistency is a big one for me. Just being consistent every year. We know what we're going to get, and it ends up being awesome. But look, it's just, you know, let
me jump in there a minute. I think that helped Dominic's this year because I was pretty shocked because you had said before a couple times that they were probably one of your favorites. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not with you here, man. But
so that's one that you guys contended over with is Dominic?
In the past. Yeah. In the past.
This year though, I was like, I get it. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
But think just
the Dominics that we had this year was the Dominics that I had been getting for 10 years coming home on trips.
Is there any place like Dominic's that you were similar to this year that like you like Andretti was like, no, I like this pizza, or T3 is like, I like this pizza, and then vice versa, like I'm not with it?
I mean,
is it Pit Stop?
I don't know if Sanso's did as well this year as what they have in the past years, right?
No, I don't think they did. They still have awesome pepperoni, but I think we liked their pizza better last year.
Yeah, I would say. Looking at the list here, but I thought JoJo's that was the best JoJo's we've had in 3 years.
It was really good.
But I think the one that when we were in the car that we were most contentious about was probably Pit Stop.
That's what it sounded like from whenever you guys were talking about it. Like Pit Stop sounded like there was like you were really about it. Well, mainly because you're Andretti and you got your pit crew and all that. So like you're all about the boys. So you got to get in and out on a pit stop.
Pit Stop was the one that had really big, wide, thick, square pieces.
Is that where all the police officers were?
Yes, that's where all the cops were whenever we pulled in.
Tons of them.
Yeah.
So you guys had the motorcade.
Oh, we had the motorcade.
They were there to stop. They were there to stop the Paps from taking photos while you guys were getting your business done.
That's right.
We limited them to 10 autographs each.
I love it.
Well, problem was there was nobody standing in line, but we would have stopped at 10 because we had a schedule.
Oh,
but no,
well,
that was,
go ahead.
yeah, and I guess that restaurant in there was really nice. So yeah, I guess you think about it, you're like, you have the thing in your head that it's hooked to a gas station, but no, that place was nice in there.
Yeah,
and it was split, and they had a hell of an ordering screen, like a 60-inch TV.
Jesus.
There's
a place in New Derry also called Iani's that I ate at one time. So one time, me and the parents went down to Greensburg to the casino, and I dropped them off, and then I went and looked at a couple colleges and whatnot, and then went to rolled up to this place called Iani's, which I didn't know anything about. But it's more like specialty pizzas. I don't know if you can just roll up to Iani's and get like a pepperoni pizza. You know what I mean? They've got like specialty ingredients and things like that. So we haven't included them in any of the pizza wars yet. But that pizza that I had from them was pretty damn good. I don't even remember what it was. I think it had like some kind of specialty sausage or something on some kind of different cheese. It was really good, but it just doesn't fit with the pizza war.
Nice. So I think we're here at the big moment. I think we're ready for the old drum roll.
Yeah!
Hey, what's cracking, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, the Godfather here. And I've been talking to the executive committee, and I want to shout out to all the people of Laurel Highlands. See, we're talking about the 2023 Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars. Now, I know last year's winner was Marlene's, but this year, the top three were extremely close, man. It was so tight. I'm not even going to say how tight it was because they might throw me off of here. But it was between Joey O's and Latrobe, Morris Tavern and Sidman, and Dominic's of Portage. And the winner is... I don't know if there's a jing at the end of it. No, jing, but... The winner is Dominic's with the big upset. Yay! Hey, man, congratulations, Dominic's, man. I know I would love to try all of your stuff. I guarantee your pizza pie is great. Hey, congratulations. So it is time, once again, for everybody, including everybody at Dominic's Pizza that loves it, to come aboard the... You know the rest, man. Hey, congratulations, brother. Peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, for the second year in a row, we hired a person that you might remember as Kama the Supreme Fighting Machine, or Kama Mustafa, or Papa Shango, but the Godfather came in again for the second year in a row, gave the announcement on who the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars winner was going to be, and he announced that it was Dominic's and Portage, because those slices, man, were just a little bit better than everybody else this year, man. They were just out of this world, man. Couldn't believe it. Out of this world, fantastic.
Pizza ain't easy. Pizza ain't easy, brother.
Pizza ain't easy. And look, these pizza wars are one in the oven, brother. They're not one on a chalkboard. So I know there's a lot of fan favorites out there, and people love their little local spot, but you know, it's about what happens that day, man. It's about what happens that day during the war, man. And Dominic's was just a little bit better than Joey O's and Morris's this year.
Any given Sunday, man.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is tiny, scrappy heel friend of the podcast, Johnny Utah. You know, he had a lot of things to say about JoJo's, but look, man, you guys had a palate that touched from Sidman to Latrobe to, you know, Hollidaysburg and Altoona down to Nanny Glow. I mean, you guys went worldwide in terms of as worldwide as you can in the Laurel Highlands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, step outside of your box there, Utah. If you hear this, I'm calling you out, and I wasn't even part of the wars.
And look, man, there was a lot of people
Literally.
that messaged me or said something on social media about Dominic's is excellent. But I will say that was definitely the best Dominic's that we had, and it was the Dominic's of old that I had always had coming home on trips and being like, I got to go to Portage before I go home because I got to get that pizza before I leave. It was a must stop for 10 years, man, no doubt about it.
Pillar to post in the Laurel Highlands.
Utah said JoJo's number one.
But the problem is I think that he might have only ever eaten JoJo's and Fox's. He also did say that he considers himself a pizza connoisseur, and he would love to he'd love to debate the pizza crew at some point in time.
This isn't a democracy here. We don't just let people come in and do town hall debates.
Here's my other favorite thing is that and I'm just saying, like, obviously I'm saying this all facetiously, but what's really funny is that I know that he hits JoJo's, and when he's not at JoJo's, I know he's a huge Fox's, Morris's, or the Red Baron Pizza from the Summerhill Social Club at 2 a.m. Like, so those are the 4 pieces of pizza that I know that he likes.
There's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with
that. Yep. So I don't know how deep that combo would go, but maybe I'm wrong.
He knows what he's talking about then. There's not a bad there, man. Especially the Red Baron at your social club at 2.
Crank it up, baby. Crank it up.
But JoJo's was really good too. So
yeah.
I'd say is it the top 5, depending, that could change between any 2 people that have the contest.
Yeah.
And I think that probably your top 7 or 8 is literally just going to be dependent on the 2 people that are in the car, and that's being completely honest, because like I said, and the other thing too is that, you guys can only eat so many pieces of pizza within a 36-hour window, not only drive wise, but, your anatomy. But that's goes back to what I'd said before about, like, one of my favorite places, man's Mimo's. And, so you don't have Mimo's on a list. I can't be mad at you guys for not having Mimo's on the list.
They were actually on the list, and we just didn't get to Wimber this year.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'd be fascinated to see how they would stack up compared to others.
I'm telling you, man, that Stromboli at Mimo's is the best Stromboli I've ever eaten in my life. There's no question about it.
Their hoagies are out of this world too, especially the cheesesteak, because they do it like pizza style with the sauce and then the mushrooms and all that stuff. Oh. Yeah, baby.
Well, what's interesting too about the 2 of us doing it is that we are pretty similar with where we would place people with how how we would rank them, because we'll both eat a piece and I'll go, where do you think they're at? And he'll say they're right above this place, but they're right below this place. And I'm like, dude, that's exactly what I was going to say too. So we are pretty similar with where we would want to put people. But obviously there's going to be times where people, he might say something's, 3 spots higher than what I thought, or vice versa. And then by the time we're all said and done and we write them all out and grade everything out, but we end up being, on the same page for pretty much everything.
Right.
We've had some pretty in-depth pizza conversations in these wars, because you have 12 hours to kill time. So if you start talking about pizza, it can get pretty technical.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh man,
maybe way more than it should be, but there's plenty of time to get technical on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, congrats to Dominic's and you being the Pizza Wars champion for 2023, the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars 3rd installation champion. What do we got? What are we looking at for next year for the Pizza Wars number 4?
Well, I think we just gotta, T3, you had a really good idea about something.
You're damn right. Yeah, absolutely. I did. Yeah, you can tell them, but yeah, I remember.
No, you tell. No, I want you to say it. It's your idea, man. I thought it was a really good idea.
Steal it.
Go ahead.
It's a location versus like the top 5. So how you were saying about places down by your house?
Yep.
Something like that. Or State College or something like that. Because I said we need some fresh blood, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
If we
fresh
go
sauces.
If we go every year and say Clark Powell's is top 4 again, and we've only gone to Clark Powell's, there needs a little bit of new blood.
Yeah, what are we proving? I understand how good you're good.
Yeah. It's just
I
like
love it. I think that's awesome.
In Mike Tyson's Punch Out, man, you can win the bantamweight, but then you got to move up and you got to take on the guys in the next weight class.
Yeah, then you go against Super Macho Man, and he knocks you out until you get so mad you quit.
That's right.
Right. No, I absolutely love
But dude, I do. It's finding Rainbow Road. It's finally making it to Rainbow Road. You got to get 3 golds in all the circuits if you want to get to the special circuit.
That's right.
Wow. Well, all right. Well, Andretti, I'll let you ride us off into the sunset.
Yeah, man, that was the first part of the double feature here. Just like if you go to the old Silver Drive-In or wherever you're at, or the place in Portage or whatever, the double feature, drive-in episodes here. But we got we're gonna have the next part of this. We're gonna record it tomorrow. And then add that episode on top of this one. And tentatively right now, we're going to have beautiful Bobby Winters come in and join the crew here for the SnyderMania 8 recap, Cheeseburger Picnic recap. Tomorrow we'll record that and then stack it on top of this and release that. But T3, man, thank you very much for jumping on here. I know it was kind of last minute here. You've been working all day, but I really appreciate you coming on here, brother.
Been a pleasure, gentlemen.
We got to get you back. We'll get you back for something here pretty soon, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. And I really want to thank Mongoose for being here. I know he had a little swim lesson gimmick he had to go attend to before he came here and got that knocked out of the way. And Baker, as always, we love you. Thank you for being a quarterback of this thing. And then we'll jump back in tomorrow night and we'll get the double feature for sure. So thanks everybody for coming on. Thank everybody for listening to this. You check us out on why don't you give the socials, because you know the socials better than I do.
Yeah, the socials for the Podski are _Podski on Twitter and Instagram. It's the Podski with John Baker on YouTube and Facebook. Be sure to check out the Cambria County Coroner on Instagram. Don't forget to check out also, if you follow along on the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars on IG, that's where you can see all of the pizza pies that were sampled over the 3-day excursion, along with those really good looking banana splits as well. So Absolutely. Don't forget to check all those out. You download, rate, review, subscribe, give the thumbs up, leave a like, smash it, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
And
Mongoose, you ready to cut this thing out? Ring the damn bell.
Let your bloodline feed my youth.
The next show will start in 3 minutes.
Like you crave that corn when it's freshly bobbed, you gotta beat it to the box with the butter on the top. Get with it, man, start strolling down to the sweets that set you rolling, the best in town. Our candy's real gone, if I'm understood. To all you squares, that means the confection is positively delicious. Cork that stuff, give me 5, let me send you into this nutty jive. Shake it on down to this cool snack bar. Come on, Jill, give us a treat. A friendly pepper-upper with a tasty beat.
Drink Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, 'cause it never lets you down.
Frosty, man, frosty.
Beneath the city of New York are living catacombs, an endless maze of subterranean tunnels, unfit for anything human, unauthorized for anything experimental,
Hold it! There's something moving up ahead in the tunnel!
and unlikely to bring anyone down there. So, they're coming up. Chud. Chud. Check your basement and your bathroom. Keep off the street and try to hide. But remember, the dark is their place. The night is their time. And tomorrow, the only things living in the city of New York will be Chud. Chud. Cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dwellers. Chud. They're not staying down there anymore.
Are you so sick and tired of driving up and down the same old tired boulevards? Well, have I got a boulevard for you? You'll never be on the boulevard of broken dreams driving up and down Johnstown's steepest and hottest boulevard yet, Eisenhower Boulevard of Richland. What? Start at the top of the hill, the same hill everyone wished they could ride a sled down in their youth. Your bones would still be crumpled at the bottom of Riverside, brother.
Been so fast you can't even talk about it.
Reminisce fondly at the travel montage from All the Right Moves as you make your way down the hill towards Scalp Avenue.
Not bad for a white one, eh?
But that's just where the excitement begins. Take in the sights and sounds of this magical route. Grab a stromboli at Pappy's Family Pub. Get your parakeet up to speed at the veterinarian.
Yeah!
Drive excitement at Wheeler Pontiac. Get hog wild and start that long-awaited journey to Sturgis, right there at Zepka Harley Davidson.
250,000 bikers are here, and World Championship wrestlers here for WCW Hog Wild.
Before snagging a couple sheets of particle board right down the road at 84 Lumber. And then, for dessert, bang a couple dingers at VE Arbutus Little League.
And I hit dingers.
What better way to spend a weekend? Who better than Eisenhower? It's the presidential place to be.
Yeah!
This message brought to you by Eisenhower Boulevard Department of Travel and Tourism. All right, well, we're back here for part two of the drive-in double feature. We hope you really enjoyed part one. That was a lot of fun talking about the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars last night with the Mongoose and Johnny Bake Show, and special guest T3 came on. Pizza Warrior T3 has always been a part of it. Great dudes. Now here we are with part two of the drive-in. You know, you always got to stick around for part two of the drive-in because that's where all the good stuff happens when the lights go down, right?
Men and papaya juice.
So here we are, and we got a really special guest here. He's been on the Podsky a couple times in the past. He's a big podcast guy with his own gimmick over there. We got the ghost of Bobby Winters in the house. How do you feel there? Bobby Winters?
I think we're a few. How many days removed are we from the cheeseburger picnic?
So right now we would be 4 days, right?
Yeah. So I mean the hangover's almost gone. It's all right. The doctors say I'll be able to walk just like I used to before I got there. I'm still accepting prayers, well wishes, and all that. It's going good. It's good to be back, especially for such a monumentous occasion as this. I'll discuss as we go along. I think I made it very well damn known there how much it meant to me, but I'll try to express that on here also.
I think,
but thank you.
You got out of the car. You think you got out of the car about 4 Trulies deep when you crawled out of the car?
I got out of the car. That is probably an accurate number. All I remember is I saw you, and I just recall yelling out, I heard this is where a man can get a couple cheeseburgers. And that was it.
And I want to order a couple cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line.
Get a cup of cheeseburgers.
Wow. Makes me so happy. I wish I would have been there for the for when you pulled up.
Cheeseburgers in the big time.
But it was just great to see you crawl out of that car with a big smile on your face after driving all morning to get there, man. Super appreciative of you coming up. I know it was a long drive for you and the ladies, but definitely appreciate you guys making the trip and being a part of what is a lot of Caucasian silliness in the middle of nowhere.
And still engaged. Sorry, ladies. But that was not enough to drive a wedge between us. The attending of the cheeseburger picnic, the I'm sure babysitting me for a weekend. But no, that smile on my face was only the kind you could have once you are 4 Trulies deep and fresh off 7 hours on the road from North Carolina to Pennsylvania. But it was worth it. I'd do it again. I am going to do it again if you'll have me.
We'll have you. We'll have you every year. You know that.
I got an eye on that MVP.
You got to get that damn MVP.
I got an eye on it. I do. I have I know it. It's foolish to think this will happen in the first year, even the second year. This is one of those things you gotta put the time in.
You're damn right. You got to put the damn time in.
I've already proven I'm reliable. I'll make the town. It's just it's putting in the time now.
No, hey, that's what it is. Well, we got dogs barking here in the background. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, yeah, man. Look, it was great having you. I know it was a big commitment for the ladies and for you to drive all the way up there in the morning after a little SmackDown action there at night. But I mean, look, everybody loves you, man. We all love you. You know that. It was great to have you. It was great seeing Baker, you and Allison to stroll up there too while we were enjoying the festivities of SnyderMania 8, the cheeseburger picnic. That's what it is, man. It's a great time in the middle of nowhere with a lot of humidity and a lot of cheeseburgers, and the drinks are flowing, and it's a good time for everybody.
And just enough chicken.
I think we started out with about 1,000 pieces of chicken. I think we ended up with maybe like 6 pieces of chicken left by the end of the night. According to my mother, that's what happened.
There was more Miller Lite left over than chicken.
I tried pushing those Miller Lights off on you in the parking lot, but you wouldn't take them.
Hell no. He caught me hungover as hell the next day in the hotel parking lot. And he said, "I've got this for you." Opens up a cooler full of Miller Lights. I almost bite on it. I do, but then I had to admit, it's like I don't have anything to do with. I don't have anything for those. I got nothing for.
You got nothing left.
I did accept 3 ginger ales from him.
That's right. That's good. Those are good mixers for everything. But we're gonna do the same format here as what we did yesterday, where it was kind of ended up being my event in my family's event. So I asked Big Show to come back here and do a little quarterbacking for this thing, because he's a little better quarterback than I am. I'm more of like a defensive end / tight end. I can't really be the quarterback of anything. So I'm smart enough in my old age to know when to let somebody else handle the heavy lifting here. But we appreciate everybody being here, listening to this, and sticking around for part 2 of this. It was awesome. Everybody that was at the picnic, thanks for coming out. I know everybody had a blast, and it was a lot of good food. So with that, without further ado, Baker, if you want to take over the controls here, it's all you, brother.
It's always an honor to take over as your. There was a tribal chief there on Saturday afternoon, but I'll take over as a tribal chief and your Dan Marino of this podcast here, quarterback.
Well, you're wearing a Rodman jersey, so I had to give you some credit.
Damn right. Speaking of benders, who had a worse bender over the weekend? Was it Beautiful Bobby or was it Rodman?
God. Yeah, good question.
I don't know. I'd like to think I probably handled mine with a little more grace. Who knows? I contained it. I just that Super 8. That Super 8. I don't know what they saw. I know when I don't remember leaving the picnic. I do remember getting back and planning on coming back out to drink more. And then it was the next morning.
Little guy was a little tuckered out after the picnic.
I was a little tuckered out between the heat, the cheeseburgers, the drink. And I did a tally the next day, and it was horrifying what I had.
Do you want to disclose your tally?
I came with a cooler, 24 cans, 12 Trulies, and 12 of those Cayman Jacks. And
we're deep into Cayman Jacks when I left.
And it was the Truly Margarita, and I've gotten to where I'm just mixing the two of those together. So I had 12 each, 24 strong. Did a count the next day. I had 4 cans left. Went 20 cans deep at the picnic. That
sounds like a mongoose on the Summer Classic.
It was enough. It was enough. I don't think it's a number to repeat around the house. Like on the weekend, I like about 6 or 7. And I'm like, we better slow down. But you don't slow down at the cheeseburger picnic, brother. You go full fucking speed ahead, and that's what we did.
It's all gas,
yeah,
and a lot of cheeseburgers.
God, that's it. And I was a little worried when I got there because the cheeseburger picnic was not without a little bit of drama. Where I thought there may not be any cheeseburgers. There were grill issues when I got there.
There were some grill issues. I think I'm going to have to replace that grill. I mean, that grill's about 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old. So it's just a portable grill. It's been working great though, but it doesn't get a whole lot of experience. It's only getting used once a year. That was the first time I used it in 4 years. So I think I just got to get it. I got to get a new one where the heat is a little bit more, little bit more, I don't know, even, I guess, across the whole grill. I think that thing's just kind of worn out at this point.
So on that Undertaker schedule,
That's
one
right.
time a year.
And it performed like the Undertaker's been performing lately. So,
yeah. And just like the Undertaker, it needs to be fucking put out to pasture.
Oh, before we need to know for the listeners, what the hell is SnyderMania? What the hell is the cheeseburger picnic? Because us three, we were blessed to be in person for this fine establishment, this fine event, and we need you to paint the picture. We need you to paint the skies. Let us know what's going on here at the what exactly is SnyderMania and the cheeseburger picnic.
Grab a hold and tell a story.
Winners, I can't wait for you to give your description after what this is. But basically how this all started. I obviously moved away to go to college, and then I came back for a year, and then I moved out here to LA. I've been out here now for about 13 years, but look, man, it's nobody's fault. You kind of drift apart from extended family and friends back home and things like that. So and my parents both retired. They both retired right around the same time that I moved out here in that neighborhood. So I kind of just felt like, you know what, man, there's no way I'm going to be able to ever fly home to go to 2 family reunions, right? It's just too expensive and people aren't organized enough to do it. So I basically just said, why don't we have one event every summer where both sides of my family are invited? All my parents' former coworkers are invited if they want to come. All the people from the neighborhood that my friends and family, are all friends with are welcome to come. People that I went to high school with and people that I don't see very often. So I kind of just created this thing where it was just one big event where people could come as they please and hang out with everybody and chat for a whole day, and do like one big, combined family reunion / community event that everybody could attend and have a great time and eat for free.
And eat we did. If you left the cheeseburger picnic hungry, that's your own damn fault, because there was a lot of cheeseburgers. There was just enough chicken, like beautiful enough. Bobby mentioned. Just enough. There was, oh my gosh, there was so much good stuff. I was personally indulging a lot in the little sugar cookies with the icing in the middle and sprinkles around the edges. Oh brother, oh boy.
The good thing about it too is that people bring stuff. It's kind of like a potluck where, most people will bring a dish or a dessert or something where there's, tables full of food for people to go and grab whatever they want to grab whenever they want to get it. So it ended up being pretty good. I don't know what the turnout was this year. I think with us having a 3-year break there because of COVID, I think we probably got like 100 people there this year, but in the past we've gotten about 150, 175. So I think overall numbers probably a little down this year, but I'm going to make sure we turn that around for next year.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to ask you how many people showed up, so that you took care of that one for me. That was a nice one. So one thing that is really cool about the cheeseburger picnic, and that beautiful Bobby mentioned, we loosely mentioned, was MVP award. So how does one become MVP of the cheeseburger picnic, and who are the previous MVPs of this cheeseburger picnic?
Oh, basically, you get the award a year later, right? Where it's based on service the year before and how much you kind of contributed. And it is kind of like a lifetime achievement thing too, where people maybe help out over the course of a couple of years before they get it. But the first one that we gave out, the first winner was Haas Onder, really good friend of the family, especially when I was a little kid. Just what a lovable character that guy always was. And he actually won the MVP award 2 years in a row. The first two SnyderMania MVPs were Haas. And he used to come all the time and bring homemade wine. Everybody loved it. And it was unbelievable. He used to come with that stuff all the time. So, he unfortunately has passed away over the years. I almost gave him the award the third year, but he turned it down and told me, you got to give it to somebody else. You can't give it to me every year. So then I gave it to the third MVP ended up being Turbo, who you guys got to meet this year. Friend of mine that I've been friends with since third grade. Off and on we lose touch every couple of years, but now we're back in touch, which is good. But he did a lot that year and helped out a lot and came early and helped set up and clean up and got drunk as hell with the rest of us. So it was good time from there for sure.
Yeah, who was the MVP this year though?
So the MVP from this past year was Mrs. Andretti. So I gave it to her. She's been coming for a long time. She does a hell of a lot of work. So I gave her the MVP award from this past year. So that was good. It was a little bit of a situation trying to get the glass award wrapped up to fit into a suitcase so we wouldn't get it cracked on the way out here. But we got it figured out. But the other award winners, so number 4, which was 2016, and that was the tribal chief. That was old man Andretti who won the award for that one. The following year was my mom. We gave the MVP was my mom the following year. Aunt Jenny won the one after that in 2018. And then my cousin Patty, who's always brought a ton of desserts and helped clean up and stuff like that, won it in 2019. So those were the previous MVPs. And like I said, we had to take a 3-year break because of COVID. And look, man, a lot of people who come are, they're in a vulnerable age bracket, right? Where, they're older now, they're my parents' friends and things like that. So we got to be a little careful with that. So we took 3 years off and came back strong this year. And then, Mrs. Andretti won the MVP.
Nice. So also in addition to the MVP, you have cheeseburger champions. The cheeseburger champions, beautiful Bobby was sitting right front and center for this. And you were praising everybody that got awarded.
Yeah.
Walk us through what it was like to be that close to the action.
To be that close? That I had basically, I had just concluded a rousing speech, and my adrenaline was still pumping, still running on high. I sat down there and I basically was front and center, front row seat for this thing, best seat in the house, you could say, and to see these people who, and how much it meant, not just to old Justin Andretti here, but to the people he was giving these awards to, and to see in their eyes how much this meant to them to be celebrated in front of their peers and in front of family. I was popping to the moon for everybody that stepped up there, because even if I didn't know them personally, I knew that this was probably something that was a long time coming for them. This is probably, I had talked right before that about hopes and dreams, and I probably saw some people's hopes and dreams being realized right there in front of me that day. So I couldn't contain my happiness, not only for being there, but for them. Incredible to celebrate these cheeseburger warriors.
These Cheeseburger Warriors. We will come back to your speech once we wrap up this Cheeseburger Warrior / champions, because that speech was such a moving speech that it nearly brought a tear to my eye.
Yes. Yes.
I was ready to run through a brick wall for you.
Man,
I think I've got it. I've got it, the audio, I believe. So I'm going to try to drop that in here if I can.
Oh man. Worth noting, and I don't know if you'll be able to detect it in my voice, but we were getting around the time of the day where I was having a little trouble standing up. I think I may have steadied myself on an item or two. I may have even steadied myself on Mr. Andretti here. But I got through it, and I went from the heart on that, everything I had to say. Because I remember getting I base things on how old my son is now and whether or not he was big or small back then. The first invite I got for a cheeseburger picnic, myself and a friend, Amanda Wood, she said, this guy, he keeps, old Cambria Ironworks, keeps inviting us to cheeseburger picnic. And then I got a message, this will give you a time, on AIM from him with that invite to the picnic. And my son was small. So these picnic invites have been coming for a long time. And my work is so wild and things like that. And getting time off is near impossible. And well, you get a little bit older. I got to that point now where it's like, fuck it, I'll get a new job if I can't get this time off. I do that all the time. I've quit like 2 jobs now because they couldn't give me a few days off. But no, so it was amazing to be there, and I hope I touched somebody out there. I really do. I hope I got through to somebody. I hope I found somebody on their worst day and turned it into their brightest.
Well, you sure put a light in my heart.
We forgot to mention that Beautiful Bobby was the super ambassador of the Cheeseburger Picnic.
Yes,
Can you please pontificate on what it was like to be the super ambassador for the?
Well, there's 2 things here. Number one, winners. Number one, I really want to get your definition of what SnyderMania is, and then I would love to hear your thoughts on how things went down and what it meant to be the super ambassador.
What is SnyderMania? What isn't it? It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of friendship, fellowship, people that enjoy good company and good food, and all the cheeseburgers they can eat. There's hot dogs, but those are for the kids. So for us grown folks, you don't get them. But there were hot dogs. I was happy to report. I did see hot dogs on down the line.
Well, you only get hot dogs if you're working. When you're working, you get a hot dog and a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, at the end, I got a handshake and a hot dog, and I was told, "Here's your pay for the evening." It was more than I thought I was going to make. But no, SnyderMania is it's a gathering, but it's a gathering on another level. Because it's just, like I said, there's awards. I haven't been to a lot of events / family reunions where there are awards given out, especially in such a serious manner. It sounds funny to describe it, but this is something that is to be taken serious. And it's an event to be respected. There's a heritage here. There's a lineage of MVPs and cheeseburger champions. There's so much to take in at this thing. Especially drink, and yeah, it's a family gathering, I think, done in the best possible way. And there's some damned odd assortment of damn people there, and I know because I went table to table interjecting myself into people's conversations, whether they wanted me to or not. But everybody's very friendly. No one very hostile. I think they could tell at that point that I had probably hurt myself worse than they could hurt me. Maybe it was pity, or maybe it was respect for their super ambassador. But I would call, if I could just sum it up, the cheeseburger picnic is your wildest dream come true. It really is. It's something that is billed as something, and you have in your head what it's going to be, and you build it up and you build it up. In my case, you build it up for years. And when you get there, you find out not only is it what you thought it was, but it's so much more. So much more.
It's like taking a once in a lifetime vacation to the pyramids or the ancient Greece or something like that. This is like the hillbilly mecca where people want to come and hang out for a day.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, it's like going to the pyramids and fucking Ramses comes out with a damn cheeseburger for you. There's so much more. Like you knew you were going to get the pyramids, but then you get this run in and a damn cheeseburger. But it wasn't without its pressure, because I came in not on the undercard. I was booked pretty high up, probably semi-main, as the super ambassador for the event. This was bestowed upon me a little bit of time before the event. I knew it was coming. I had a rough idea of what it meant and what was expected of me. Andretti had expectations for me, but I had even more expectations for myself. And I knew I couldn't let him down. I couldn't let myself down. I couldn't let these people at the cheeseburger picnic down. So I took it upon myself to kind of, just socialize, get out there with the people, find out how everybody's feeling, find out, what everybody, their wants and their needs, things like that. I think I just shouted lines of gibberish at a lot of people as I walked table to table. There's copious amounts of footage of this from me. One of my favorite details of it is you can see me, my shadow, you can see me put a can down most of the time before I start talking. But no, everybody young and old. I felt I needed to keep them entertained. I needed to liven things up for them a little bit and just keep the flow going. If I saw a table where things were starting to die down, I knew I needed to walk up there and give him a little kick. Give him a little something. I was there to help people. I was a conduit by which people enjoyed themselves more than they already would have, which was immensely to begin with. And that's what the Super Ambassador is about. I was trying to spread goodwill and just, keep it going. Keep it going a little bit. Andretti's working the grill. He can't be out there. I was, you seen Lord of the Rings, the Mouth of Sauron. That was me. I was out there doing the talking for him while he was working that hot grill. I was in
Gorilla the whole night.
Yeah, you were in Gorilla, and you needed a guy out there with Mike, a non-working Mike, but you needed a guy out there, a man on the street, if you will, eyes and ears. And I think that's what the Super Ambassador was. I was the eyes and ears out there, the glue that kept it together, the cheese on the burger. Nobody wants a Did anybody ask for a plain hamburger?
Yes, a couple people did.
Jesus, I didn't know.
They were rejected.
Yeah, all right, good. That must have been before I got there.
The security team escorted them to the parking lot.
Oh my, yeah, the Andretti working that hot grill. We were in grill hell over there for a while.
Yeah.
No airflow.
Well, look, man, I bought all those burgers and the damn grill wasn't, it would either get super hot or just shut off. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the hell happened, but it's time for a new grill. It's a damn shame that we didn't get to make 100 more burgers than what we did. Because I definitely had them ready to get fired up at that. We, luckily we had a chicken there to save the day.
Running just like so many AEW wrestlers over the last 2 years, super hot and then cooled down very quickly. He had the Wardlow of grills.
So I have another question. Why is it called SnyderMania when you have so many protrunecs? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, like that's a very good question. So why is it called SnyderMania, not Patronic Mania? I think because Patronic Mania is too many letters to put on a freaking flyer, dude. Is what That's what it comes down to. No, I mean it doesn't. There's no reason why it's SnyderMania over Patronic Mania. There's no reason for that because I mean it's just funny. It's just a funny stupid name that I just threw on a graphic whenever I was sending out the invites to everybody a long time ago. That's pretty much the only reason. But we get just as many people from both sides of my family that come. My mom's side and my dad's side. So it's for everybody. Everybody knows that.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that. Beautiful Bobby mentioned the footage. So this footage, are we compiling this into a documentary, or is it going to?
Yeah, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something silly with all of that. So if you and Allison have pictures or audio or videos from that, you got to send them to me ASAP, and then I'll take a look at that maybe this weekend. Start putting everything together and come up with some kind of documentary or some kind of at least a slideshow of pictures or something that we can send out.
A highlight reel.
A highlight reel, exactly.
I got some great audio of Beautiful Bobby whenever he was talking. I asked him, strategically asked him what his thoughts were.
You caught me vulnerable.
I did. I knew what I was doing when I asked this question. I asked him what his thoughts were on Undertaker saving an Andretti favorite around here, Michelle McCool. She posted a video that there was a shark that was attempting to attack her, and the dead man, rose, and he planted his stake against that shark, and that shark just sat there staring at him, didn't know what to do. But what's a shark to do when you're in ankle deep water? Get out there with the water around your waist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the shark's not passing him. Well, it can't. It can't. Is it getting out in the sand? What's it going to do? No, get out there. Get it. I mean, really scare the thing off. Get out there, waist deep, chest deep. You're standing. Yeah, your toes are barely wet, and you can't tell me you scared this thing off. He cannot come any further, like you're fucking Gandalf, and he can't pass. He can't. He doesn't have the physical ability to survive where you're at. He's not scared of you. He's scared of damn being on dry land. But old John Baker here hit me with this when he knew. He knew I was on the ropes, and he knew it was time to strike. And what I just summed up in about 20 seconds, I think I spoke about for about 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
You did. You can catch that in the highlight reel, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh my. So that was, is there anything else you'd like to cover from SnyderMania 8 before we look forward to SnyderMania 9?
So winners, I know you talked to a heck of a lot of people at the picnic, but do you remember those encounters? Who were some of the people that you remember chatting with?
And Andretti Sr. was definitely a character. He received me well enough. I don't know if he could hear me that well, but but it was good because I've heard so much about this man over the years, and from his historian standpoint, this man is a cornerstone of the cheeseburger picnic. So it's a little bit of history right there. Meeting him was great. Turbo was, I had not encountered him before. And I had met face to face John Baker. Had not met in person to person quite yet. There was a lot of people that I can't put names to. There was one guy that won a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I spoke to him at length. And
well, that was either Croupy or Paul McCloskey.
Who's the one that was who was the Lifetime Achievement winner that was standing at the truck?
Standing at the truck. Oh, that was Uncle Tom. He was 98 years old, by the way.
Yeah. Uncle Tom, he was ready to get out of there. He had his damn burger and he was ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, he had his burger, he had his award, and he was ready to cut out of there early, like Lesnar at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. But Krupe was, I think, my God, that thing is that award. I'm pretty sure after speaking to him is featured prominently somewhere, like very prominent. Like you cannot go. I don't think you can go into this man's house without seeing it. It seemed to mean a lot to him. He entertained me for a moment and discussed it. But there was a large cast of characters, many of which I can't put a name to. But I you know what the thing was? I didn't have any negative things to say about anyone I saw at the cheeseburger picnic, which is rare because when I usually go into a crowd, I have no good to say about any fucker there. Cheeseburger picnic, all good all around. Saw some dear friends again. Met some people I've talked to for a while for the first time in person, and met some new folks. But I got to say that Andretti Senior probably takes the cake as far as just antics I've heard of over the years.
Baker, what were your thoughts being thrown into this for the first time after being invited for a couple of years?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. That Allison and I came along and had no idea what to expect. Pleasantly surprised when we got there. Hot as hell, and that's nothing but just all that heat from that grill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fantastic. I don't have a bad thing to say about the cheeseburger picnic. Everybody was very pleasant. Everyone was all hopped up on cheeseburgers, cup of cheeseburgers. They were, it was fantastic. It was great, fellowship, camaraderie.
Yes.
It was fantastic. And
anybody that you and Allison met that stood out to you, that you left an impression on you when you left?
Meeting beautiful Bobby in person for the first time. That was pleasant. I didn't get to meet old man Andretti, but I had observed him multiple times. And you're just outrightly burying him while he was inches away from you.
Oh God. You know what? I'm going to call him out right now. My old man. I'm going to tell you why I buried his ass right in front of him to you and Allison, was because when I was a kid and we used to go to Penn State games all the time, I had heard a story that when my dad used to go up there with Bonfani and Afton to go to those Penn State games, they would stop at the Foxfire all the time, right there between Tyrone and I don't know what between Tyrone and Port Matilda. I don't know what that little stretch is called right there. But they used to have like an oven, like a wood oven or a wood stove in the Foxfire Tavern or Lounge or whatever it was called. And as the story goes, my dad on a dare put his hand on the oven or on the stove and burned his hand. Right. So I've known that story since I was a little kid, and we were driving past that location because the Foxfire unfortunately burned down. It did not burn down the same time that my dad put his hand on the stove, but it burned down in subsequent years later. But we were driving past where the Foxfire used to be, and either my mom or me or somebody mentioned the bar, and I brought it up in the truck. I said, hey, I remember that story about you burning your hand, and he kayfabed, dude. He kayfabed and he just straight up, that never happened, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. Yeah. And I'm like, you're so full of shit. I've known that story since I was a little kid. You're lying out of your ass because you don't want to be embarrassed. But I know what you did. You put your hand on the stove and you know you did it.
Never breaks character.
Dedication.
Never. Yeah. Dedication to his craft. But if I could be so bold to ask, and I know I can't get much out of this. Just whatever tidbits you can throw at me. What can we expect at SnyderMania 9?
Oh,
well, that's a deep cut, man. That's a good question. So, it's going to be there's going to be more invites sent, and I'm going to take over all of it. My parents are getting up there in age now. You know, I don't want them to have to do anything anymore with this picnic. Nothing. I don't want them doing anything. I just want them to show up and enjoy the day and eat food and drink and hang out with their friends and just sit around and not do anything. Because what ends up happening is, my mom she really does want to help a lot of people, right? She always wants to jump in and do her part and stuff like that. But I don't want them to do that. Like, this is for my family. It's for them, you know, it's for everybody to enjoy the day. So I think, you know, going forward next year, I'm just going to have to lean on, you know, people a little bit more, like maybe Turbo and you guys and whoever else, just in terms of setting things up, not financially. I'll take care of the cost, but just in terms of setting things up and breaking things down at the end of the day. And then I'm going to try to stick around too, I think, for another day or two, because we were really in a rush this year to leave the next day. Because my wife had a work convention she had to go to, but you know, just to be able to stick around like one full day afterwards or 2 days afterwards to make sure that we got everything squared away and, you know, put away and all that. Everything was clean, but I'm talking about just putting things away and stuff like that, so that my mom and dad don't have to do anything anymore. But that's where it's going to be. I'm going to just take them out of the equation completely and just do everything and take care of everything on my end and get there a couple of days earlier than I have been and get it squared away so that they can just be participants and not have to get stressed out about anything.
Man, we're entering the SnyderMania 9, the new generation.
it's the new gen.
Literally the new generation.
It's going to be like WWF New Gen. You're going to have a repo man running around in a race car suit.
Everyone
come, plumber.
Everyone come dressed.
Doink.
Pick a profession and come dressed as it.
Come dressed as a profession.
Oh my.
But that's it, man. That's where it's headed, you know. And I want to get this thing to the place where it's out of everybody else's hair, you know what I mean? And I can just deal with everything and take care of it and not have to worry about, you know, them getting, you know, them having to carry anything or you know, anything, even as far as getting ice and stuff like that. Like, those are all things that I can do and I think we can do to kind of make it a little bit easier for everybody.
Mm-hmm. I think I have one last question though. We need an inside scoop. We need to know. We need to know who's on the early ballot for MVP next year.
Oh my God.
Well, you know, it's somebody who's been to a lot of picnics that saved the picnic this year. I'll say that.
Saved it.
Saved the picnic because we had a little bit of an issue with electricity at the pavilion. So if you were there early enough to start getting set up, somebody figured out how to do that and was very calm whenever everybody else was not being very calm, and has been helping with a lot of the years, and definitely has been deserving of it for a while. So that's who I think is going to get the MVP for next year.
So it is
guiding
first-time
light.
winner.
What's that?
Maybe a first-time winner.
It's going to be a first-time winner, and it's also somebody who maybe have been on the Podski in the past.
Oh.
So, hey, there you have it. You got all the Easter eggs.
Here we go. Man, SnyderMania 9 coming.
Yeah, next year, sometime in July. Probably sometime in the middle of July.
Wow.
Any other thoughts, winners, from your big day in Yankee country?
It's you know,
what was it like being around all them Yankees for 7 or 8 hours?
You wouldn't know it, honestly. I would put the area we were in with having grown up in Southern Virginia. It took me right back home to driving through a lot of rundown towns in Southern Virginia. You know, small cities with multiple closed businesses interspersed with there are some nice views though as you drive along. There's a lot of greenery out there, a lot of great, like, you know, farm areas, whatnot, open fields. On the way back we hit the mountains and that was beautiful. But as far as the crowd goes, I you know, it's the magic of SnyderMania, the magic of Cheeseburger Picnic. I think you can come from anywhere, any walk of life, and just feel at home. This was the best group of Yankees I've spent my time around, and trust me, that's a group that I usually don't have a lot of good to say about. But these guys were top notch, made me feel at home. I can't wait to come back. Can't wait to see some of the same faces again. Maybe there won't be two of each one of them this time when I look at them. That made it twice as fun. It made it twice as fun though. It's like I had 2 times the friends there at the picnic. But no, the area itself, I know you grew up there. I want to remain as respectful as I can. But it's very similar to the area I grew up in. And not a lick of fucking cell phone service. I'll tell you that much.
No.
It was sparse. Almost caused an argument. My fiance thought I was ignoring her. I should sit text along. Come to find out, no, I hadn't got a single thing. And I love it because it reminded me, like when you go off on a cruise and you finally come back home, and first time you get that little bit of service, you have like fucking 50 messages pop up. Had a little bit of that going on. It's definitely, middle of nowhere, but it has charm. It has heart. And more than anything, it's got the cheeseburger picnic. I think this event might put that place on the map. I mean, because what's it got going for it now? A big flood?
Oh, three floods.
I mean, they're trying to get these floods over big time. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to celebrate disaster. I'd rather.
Everyone's got the higher.
That might be the quote for the picnic. It's hard to celebrate disaster.
Well, fortunately, there are none at the cheeseburger picnic.
What did
what did
the ladies have to say about their trip up here? I'm sure that was a little bit different for them.
It was a little bit different, a little bit of a different setting, a little bit of a different group of people. Met with praise though. The drive was not met with praise at all. It was about a 7 hour 7 hours up, about a good 6.5 down. That part was not a lot of good things to say about that. But as far as the picnic themselves and the people, and especially the food, there were glowing reviews all around. And like I said, there has been zero domestic issues since returning. So
it'll heal any relationship if you come to the picnic. It'll heal your relationship.
I'll tell you how. It's almost like a retreat. But I'll tell you how good it went over when I had mentioned, are you, we doing this next year? Are you? I didn't say are we, because I am, of course. Like, are you doing this next year? And I didn't get a no. I didn't get a hell no. I got I guess I have to. And that's that is high praise. That is high praise.
Yeah, Allison.
It's magic. It's pure magic.
Yeah, Allison gave it a good review. She was pleased. She was excited. She was glad that she finally got to meet everybody. Glad to meet Miss Andretti and Mr. Andretti, and beautiful Bobby. She was happy to put faces to a lot of audio messages.
Yes,
throughout the house from over the years. So
I thought we weren't sharing those.
Just running wide out loud. And she was really excited. She had a good time, and the drive did not get glowing reviews, but that's only because she gets car sick. But yeah, excited for SnyderMania 9 and a cup of tea.
Well, I know Mrs. Andretti definitely was appreciative of you guys coming up and helping and being good people. It's always nice. It's always nice when I can introduce good people to my wife, and she gives the vote of confidence to those people and signs off on it. So everything went over with everybody with that too, which is good.
Awesome. You want to take us, hold our hands and walk us out of this cheeseburger picnic finale?
Yeah, man. Winners, any closing thoughts on wrapping up SnyderMania 8, the cheeseburger picnic here? You got any other closing thoughts?
I wish it didn't have to wrap up, both this and the event itself. No, it's once again just like this episode here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invite, the continual invites over the years. I'm glad I could finally make it down and myself put some faces to stories you've told over the years about friends and family. Some good, some highly inflammatory, but I have faces to put all of it now. And no, I just look forward to being there again next year. I don't know if I'll have any kind of advanced role I need to play. I'm more than happy to take up the sash again if I need to. I'm more than happy, to sit out in the crowd and watch the event, watch it unfold. I am probably going to repeat all the mistakes I made this year. It's very likely. I may even double down. We'll see, because that's what I do. Don't learn from anything. Why would you do that? But we don't celebrate that. Like we said, we don't celebrate disaster.
As long as you make the town and put in the time, that's all that matters when you climb the ladder.
Hey, it's just like being an indie wrestler. You guys got paid in a hot dog and a handshake. That's pretty much all it was.
Hot dog, handshake, and just enough chicken.
That's right. We got to figure out a way to get Amanda up there.
Yeah. We're trying to wrangle the most reclusive person we know for this event. Almost made it this year. They claim maybe next. I say that remains to be seen.
Well, they've been telling me that for 13 years, so at least 11 years. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, look, we're gonna come back hard next year. Hopefully somewhere around the beginning of April, when we're all together for WrestleMania, is when I'll probably figure out what the best date is to do the next one. It's probably going to be mid-July. It seems like that's probably easiest for everybody, somewhere around there. So we'll figure it out somewhere around Mania weekend. I'm sure we'll be all in the hotel talking about how we want to do things for the upcoming months. So I'm sure we'll get it figured out at that point.
SnyderMania 9, the cheeseburger picnic part 2, staying home.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, Baker, from you being up there, man?
No, it was fantastic. I'm glad that we've been talking about this cheeseburger picnic for years. And I'm just blessed to be an attendee for the 8th, and hopefully I'll catch you back next year at Caesar's Palace for 9.
Well, look, my only closing thoughts I had was just I'm grateful for everybody who came out, everybody who helped out and pitched in and brought something and stuck around, to help clean up and all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for everybody who did that, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everybody next year. So thanks for sticking around here for the double feature. We did the Laurel Highlands Pizza Wars on part 1. Part 2 here, you got the SnyderMania 8 review and recap, a little send off for next year. So hopefully we'll get this thing edited up here quick, get it posted. I'm not sure what day we're going to get this up yet, or what the plan is for the next show, because we don't really have a plan. Probably once a month for the Andretti AD shows. I know Mongoose and I are working on a tooth and nail idea here. Probably by the end of the month, we'll probably get another one of those thrown up here, hopefully, or soon around that time. But thanks for listening and everything. We appreciate everybody's support. Baker, you want to throw in the socials?
Absolutely. Make sure that you check us out on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Podski. Make sure you download, rate, review, and subscribe. If you're following along on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment below. If you want to be a cheeseburger champion, if you want to be an MVP, if you want to attend the cheeseburger picnic, let us know. Leave a comment down below and hit the bell notification for whenever the Podski posts a new video. We got a lot of great stuff coming out. We always got the 3MB, the 3-man booth with the Tooth and Nail crew. That's Andretti and Teddy Mongoose. We need to get beautiful Bobby Winters back in here a lot more.
I got to, I stay booked, so it's a little tough, but I'm going to try to clear things out here and there for you.
Winners, if you want to put over your show, man, go for it.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you're tired of hearing assholes talking about wrestling and want to hear assholes talk about video games, you can check out Retrovaniacs. That's basically all of our socials, also at Retrovaniacs. It's three. The format might seem familiar to you. Three old men just complaining about some things, praising a few other things. We mainly focus on video games, kind of from the PS2 era and before. So we've been at that for about 6-7 years now, going strong. So we have plenty of episodes for you to enjoy, or not, whatever. But yeah, Retrovaniacs. You try it out. Try it out, especially if you're driving to the cheeseburger picnic. Fuck, that's going to be, depending on where you're coming from, you got hours and hours to kill. You can get through an episode. You can get through several episodes. Save it up for next year.
Absolutely. Start with the posse on the way up, and then hit Retrovaniacs on the way home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Absolutely. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody coming on here. We're Baker. I appreciate you being a QB here, and Bobby Winters, appreciate your time coming on here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna wrap this thing up here. Hopefully, we'll see you again here soon, and you can check us out. We'll figure out what the schedule is gonna be here. I know we got a Posse episode coming up next week that we're really excited about, and then we'll have an Andretti AD and a Tooth and Nail probably within the next couple weeks. So, without further ado, we're gonna get out of here. So, Bobby Winters, go ahead, ring the damn bell.
Ding, ding. Fuck.
Yeah! It goes to the universe! It goes to Mars! It goes to Neptune! It goes to Pluto! I know dudes on all them planets, Jack! Cause I know everything about you. I know your strengths. And I know your weaknesses, yeah!
She took my credit card. She took my horse. She took my money, she went to Hawaii and spent $5,000 on assorted men and papaya juice, Jack.
Will you stop? And the t-shirts are too tight too, Billy! But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. I don't know!
It's still real to me, damn it!
This is Stone Cold E.T., and I want to order a couple of cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line.
No one here gets out alive.